What's going on, guys? NBA fans, Kings fans, Fox fans, Bucketologers. The last sporting event that I watched, aside from the Super Bowl, was a beautiful basketball game late night in the Golden One? What is it called? Golden One Center? Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, first game as teammates, highly anticipated event. Man, I was so excited, and this game lived up to the expectations through and through. We got to see the stars on display, but the outcome, I don't remember who was favored in this game. I mean, the Kings obviously having a great season, unprecedentedly amazing, exceeding expectations in all facets type year, with 2-star players, first-year head coach, great collection of role guys, shooters, spacers, wing players. And the Mavericks obviously have Kyrie now. They started 2-0 without Luka Doncic. They won the previous game in this arena, and they've looked great since his arrival. This was the first time that we saw these two stars on the court at the same time, and reasonably so. A lot of the takeaways from this game about this possession with 15 seconds left, Luka takes a contested step back three, brick, pretty much the last chance that this team had to stay in the game. A lot of guys saying it shouldn't have been his shot, he should have gave it to Kyrie. I'm saying De'Aaron Fox in a game with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic was the best player on the court. So impressive. And it's beyond the 36 points on 12 of 23 shooting. It's beyond 3 straight 30-point games, 5 of his last 6. But how about the defense? And Kyrie Irving is an alien basketball player, pound for pound, arguably the most skilled human being at the game of basketball, certainly arguably the greatest ball handler to ever live, and he made some great shots in this game, but man, De'Aaron Fox was wearing this dude like a shirt. He was making it impossible for him to get any space, one of the rare guards in this league with the foot speed to stay with Kyrie Irving, and he was taking the challenge, and he was exceptional, not just in this game, but also the previous game, which I watched as well. I have not watched nearly every Kings game this season. I couldn't give you an exact gauge of just how good of a defensive player De'Aaron Fox is, but these last 2 games, I certainly got a great idea of that type of two-way ability that this guy has that I really wasn't aware of, and I'd heard of it before, and I had previously seen flashes of this just watching De'Aaron Fox this year and in previous seasons, but I know that there had been some inconsistencies, not only with his play on this end of the floor, but also in previous seasons when the Kings sometimes get off to good starts the NBA season, and De'Aaron Fox is generally a hot starter. He gets out of the gate quick, not just literally, but big games to start seasons, and this year was actually the same, and he cooled off a little bit, but he's definitely retaining that flame and playing maybe his best stretch of basketball of the season. May I mention first-time All-Star, so well-deserved. He should have made it and not had to have been a replacement player in the first place. He should have just been there instead of a guy like maybe Paul George or whoever the last backcourt guy that was selected. Certainly more deserving than Jaren Jackson, but this is a guy that has always been talented. I mean, he's always been a good basketball player. He's always been as quick as anybody in the league, with great talent at slashing the ball, dicing a defense up and getting into the lane and scoring with low floaters, layups, dunks. But beyond that, exactly what he had to offer a team or the NBA wasn't exactly a known commodity. And I think this year we have a greater idea of who this guy is, especially when he's playing with a team as complete as the one he is on. Obviously having Domantas Sabonis helps out a ton, and Sabonis, easy all-star this year, definitely one of the best players in the Western Conference this season, and a huge reason this team has been in the 3rd seed. But De'Aaron Fox at the end of games is the guy. I mean, he's probably at this point the favorite to bring home that clutch award as far as 4th quarter scorers go. Game's on the line, you need a bucket. This guy can get into the lane pretty much anytime he wants to. And that brings me to the next point, talking about the postseason, something that Kings fans have not needed to talk about in a very long time. But the Sacramento Kings, they're 2 games ahead of 4th. They're only 3 games out of the play-in, but there's no reason for them to slow down at this point. I know teams like the Clippers, Suns, Mavs might be on their tail. Maybe not as much the Suns actually, because KD's not going to be back for a little while. They might have a little bit of breathing room there. Pelicans still not going to have Zion for a little bit. They may have to worry about like the Warriors, but they still got 3.5 games from the Warriors. I'm going to assume, and I hope it's a safe assumption, I would really love to see this team in the playoffs just because we haven't seen it in so long, but I'm going to make a brave assumption that this team makes the playoffs this year. Unfortunately, they're not going to be going much farther than that. Sorry to say it, Kings fans. It will end in the first round almost definitely unless you somehow draw the Timberwolves or the Pelicans without Zion. Otherwise, you're going to be playing the Clippers or the Suns or the Warriors, maybe the Mavericks. And should those teams be generally healthy, you guys don't really stand a chance. But it's okay. The goal of the season was to make the playoffs, not to win a championship. That's why you build your team up in the offseason and you sort of grow this core that you have. But regardless of all of that, being able to see De'Aaron Fox in the playoffs for the first time is going to be really exciting. And I think that he is built for it because he has a game that is built on driving the basketball, which you need your best player to be able to get wherever he needs to go on the floor against anybody to stand a chance in any game. And a guy like De'Aaron Fox, he's not going to rely on three-point shots. He's great in that mid-range area, but he's not going to rely on these shots. He needs to not only make plays for himself in the lane, but also others. And that's how he gets his team involved with shooters everywhere. The floor is spaced so well, playing that two-man game with Sabonis, and also, of course, not turning over the ball, an area that he's been great at this year. Point is, we're going to learn a lot about this guy come playoff time, because this team, regardless of if they're not going to go anywhere, we should see a fight. We will understand just how good he really is, especially in comparison to his counterparts, star point guards in the Western Conference. Speaking of which, I'm going to be doing a video soon, maybe tomorrow, ranking or doing like a bracket for all the Western Conference point guards right now. And to see where he stacks up with all those guys, it's going to be very interesting. So that's going to do it. Let me know what you guys think about De'Aaron Fox, Sacramento Kings, and what's in store. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.